No worries. Whenever you guys are ready.
Okay, first game on the schedule, the New York Jets going up to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Robert, what do you think about this game?
I think this is a clash of two different styles of football. I think the Jets are going to try to slow the game down, run the ball, and get into that ground and pound. While I think the Bills are going to try to make it a fast-paced game with the short screen passes and really try to make it a high-scoring affair. I really think it's the team that can set the pace of the game and really play to their style of football that's going to have the success. And this is really a battle for the AFC East, so both sides better be prepared.
Okay, I think this game's going to come down to the turnover battle. The Bills have been leading the league so far in the takeaways, and I think what Sanchez and Fitzpatrick do on their respective sides is going to make a big difference. I do like Fred Jackson coming out of the backfield for the Bills. I think he's going to be very effective this game. However, the Jets have been playing better. Robert, who'd you like to win this game?
Jets, hands down. I really think they're the superior team, man down the roster. We're looking at a 52-man roster and not one or two pieces. And really, I don't think the Bills have enough to force their will on the game. I think if it gets down and dirty, I think the Jets will start to take over and it'll be a little bit too physical for them.
Okay, I'm going to have to disagree with on this one. I like the Bills at home to take care of business. I think that Fred Jackson is going to be able to move the ball, and I'm not sure if the Jets pass rush is going to be able to get to him to cause that much of an effect.
All right, next game on the schedule is the 2-5 Seattle Seahawks and the 3-4 Dallas Cowboys. And the way I see this game is really going to be a joy for Jerry Jones. This is exactly what the Cowboys need. They need to get back on track. They need to influence the game. I think Rob Ryan's going to have the blitz dialed up. I think it's going to be all day. It's going to be hell for whoever's in the backfield. Tavares Jackson. What's the other guy's name?
Charlie Whitehurst.
Charlie, well, it doesn't matter who his name is. Whoever is in there, it's going to be trouble. I think the Cowboys all day.
Okay, I tend to agree with you on this one. I think Dallas is going to be able to take care of business. They're a bit pissed off from that ass beating they got last week from the Philadelphia Eagles. I think they're going to go in there. I think Rob Ryan's going to dial up the right blitzes. I don't think Seattle's going to be able to move the ball that well. So I like Dallas in this game.
I like Dallas, but I would be careful too because Seattle is known to creep up on people every now and then. And when they're the kind of team that you don't want to pick, but you also don't want to bet against. But I really think Dallas has this game.
Okay. Next game on the schedule, we have the Cleveland Browns going down to Houston to take on the Houston Texans. Now, with this game, regardless of whether Andre Johnson's playing or not, I think the Texans have the star power and the offensive firepower to go out and beat the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland, they have been in kind of a rebuilding phase the last couple of years, but I don't think they've done enough yet to keep up with a team that's definitely trying to win the AFC South this year in the Houston Texans.
Okay, this game here I think could be very interesting. It could go both ways, and I really see the one thing Cleveland has going for them is they have a really good run defense, and it's kind of a clash against strength. And if Peyton Hillis can come back, I think Colt McCoy's competent back there, and the Browns can make this a game. But if I have to come down and make my picks, I'm going to have to go with Houston. This is their year. The Colts are out of it, and if they don't, it's just, in my opinion, they just choked.
Okay. Okay, the next game on the schedule we have is the 4-3 Atlanta Falcons going to the RCA Dome to take on the winless Indianapolis Colts. Now, I do think Atlanta's going to win the game. I'm just going to put that right out there now. However, I think it's going to come if Michael Turner can run the ball effectively and Matt Ryan can get the offense moving. I think that Atlanta should be able to go in there and take care of business. However, I would like to see Indianapolis kind of pick up the pace a bit, at least show some life in this game, and maybe keep it kind of close. But in the end, I do think Atlanta and that powerful offense will be able to take care of business.
This game here, Atlanta coming out of the bye, I think the Colts' best asset's going to be the crowd noise and the pass rush. But I mean, Atlanta's a dome team going into a dome, and Atlanta's going to do what it does. Atlanta beats bad teams, and the Colts this year are a bad team, so really, I think it's no choice here. You pick the Falcons in this one.
Okay. Next game on the schedule, we have the winless Miami Dolphins going down to Kansas City to take on the hot Kansas City Chiefs. I think this game's going to come down to how much does Sperano maybe want to even have a chance to be not fired.
But he's a dead man. He's a dead man walking.
He is a dead man walking. Let's put that out there.
His house is on the market. Like,
His house is on the market.
If anyone's looking for a house in Miami, call Sperano.
But KC has been picking up these last couple of games. They have been, their offense has been showing some signs of life. I think that Matt Castle should be able to move the ball against the Miami secondary. I like Dwayne Bowe to have a big game. I like my boy Steve Breston to have a big game as well. I don't think Miami's going to be able to do enough in Kansas City to pull off the win this game. I like Kansas City.
coming into this game, really, the way I see it is, it's really a suck for luck battle. And I mean, Miami signing J.P. Lossman, I think Bruce Arthur said it best, is like the Titanic signing an iceberg. They're trying to go downhill. And I don't really have faith in KC, but as little faith I have in KC, I have less in Miami. So I'm going to have to go with KC here. So
I think KC's all right this year.
I mean, I think KC will beat. They'll be a nice team this year, but I don't really see. I don't think they're as much of the last 4 games. They're somewhere in between the last 4 games and the first 4 games where they struggled. I think when they start to face some better competition and some more teams see what they're trying to do, I think it's gonna start to come downhill for them.
The next game on the schedule, the 4-3 Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the 5-3 New Orleans Saints. Now, this game is going to be really interesting because Tampa Bay did beat New Orleans about 2 weeks back. And New Orleans has been literally up and down from beating the Colts 62-7 to giving the Rams their first win last week. I think New Orleans gets back on track this week. I like Drew Brees to move the offense. I think Pierre Thomas, he's kind of been picking it up a bit lately. New Orleans could have a bit of a run game. That defense is a bit suspect, but I think they should be able to hold the Tampa Bay offense, especially in New Orleans in the Dome, to be able to pull out a win.
I'm going to have to agree with you here, Berkey. I really do think that Tampa Bay is a strong team. I think the defense is going to be a factor, but it almost would have been different if New Orleans didn't lose to St. Louis last week. I think this is out of pure embarrassment. They have something to prove, and at home, I think they're really going to show that championship pride that they have.
Yeah.
So, next game on the schedule is the 6-1 San Francisco 49ers going up against Berkeley's Washington Redskins.
Yes. Okay, with this game, I think the Redskins are gonna pull it off this week. And I really do believe that. I think this is the week that we need to turn it around if we're gonna make any type of push towards a wild card spot. I think that John Beck and some of the other receivers, Anthony Armstrong and the offensive line, can finally pull it together this week. And I think with this style of play, we're able to contain the run fairly well. I think we'll be able to hold Frank Gore down, hopefully force Alex Smith into some mistakes. And I believe the Washington Redskins will pull it out this week at home.
The way I see this game is it's going to be an ugly game. No matter who wins. Like Berkey said, I think it's going to be both teams trying to pound the ball. Alex Smith hasn't been great, but he's been decent, and he's been enough to not hurt the team. And I don't know if the Redskins are going to get the same from their quarterback play. Especially with Santana Moss out, I really do think it's going to be who makes the least mistakes and who can move the ball best in the run. And right now I like Alex Smith better than anything the Redskins have, and I like Frank Gore better than Ryan Perrin.
Okay.
So I'm going to have to go with San Francisco on this one.
Okay. All right. The next game on the schedule, we have Denver going up to Oakland to take on the Oakland Raiders. I mean, this game, I do think Oakland has a chance to win the AFC West. San Diego's been up and down. Kansas City's kind of up and down. And I can't remember who the other team is. That's kind of indicative of this division. The AFC West, the other team is the Denver. Yeah, it's the AFC West battle. Okay, so gotta stop it. Alright.